But the game of the week, where College Game Day is going to be, where all the eyeballs are going to be, are down in Tuscaloosa, and where Texas is going to be coming to Alabama after that just thrilling game they had last year, 1-point victory for the Tide in Austin. Now, with the burnt orange coming in to take on those crimson-clad Tuscalonians over there, they're going to be rabid over there in Bryant-Denny, because you know that they're jazzed up for this one after, having not the best treatment maybe from Texas. There's still a little revenge on their mind, so they're going to test Texas's altitude sickness, Jay. They're going to put those guys way up in the nosebleeds, those fans that are coming up there. So they've got that set up.
Yeah, without a doubt. Well, thank goodness for Texas. None of those fans have to take a snap or make a tackle. When I look at this game, it's a game I picked Texas to win in the offseason, and it's easy to pick Bama right now, and I understand it's definitely the safer pick. Bama looked about as good as they could look against Middle Tennessee State. Now, I think the question's still out on Jalen Milroe. I don't think he's going to be able to drop the ball and pick it up and dust it off and read a third of a Harry Potter book and then take off for 70 and score a touchdown against this Texas defense. So I'm going to stick with Texas here. I think these are the type games that Quinn Ewers is built for. We saw what he did. The biggest question is, will a Texas quarterback make it 4 quarters against an Alabama team? Because if he doesn't, then, I like Malik Murphy and, Arch Manning's got a really bright future, but they're in a lot of trouble. Where I think I'm very interested to see, and I know Malachi Moore and Jalen Key have both practiced this week, but if they're not at 100% with what Texas has at the skill position, and if you look at Texas's offensive line, they weren't great against Rice. I think they held a lot back. They were pretty peanut butter and jelly against Rice, and I understand it. But I think this offensive line can hold up. I don't expect the run game to be dominant, and I know Quinn wasn't great down the field last week, but I just believe in Quinn Ewers, man. I do. I think this is going to be a game that does go back and forth. Obviously, when you play at home, we say you got a 7-point advantage when you get off the bus. So Texas is already going to be fighting uphill. But at the end of the day, once the ball is snapped, you return 5 of your 6 best pass catchers. You added A.D. Mitchell, a guy that's not going to be afraid to play against Alabama. I know Kool-Aid's going to shut one guy down, but you look at the tight end room that Texas has. You look at the skill position mixed with that offensive line. I think they can compete with them. But the biggest difference, I think, in Texas, and one of the reasons I had them making the playoff, is I think their defense is actually legitimate. I think they use the portal about as well as anybody on defense. They're very physical in that front 7. The joke against Texas is, they're soft on defense. They're a Big 12 team. They don't want to play defense. They got some cats running around that are headbutting lockers and putting their hands on people. So I don't think they're going to go in this game and be afraid. Alabama's got great personnel. It's going to be tough for Sark to beat Saban, but I picked Texas in the offseason. I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm going to go with my instincts, and I'm going to take Texas 30-27 in this one.
So, but putting the pick aside, if you're looking at it from Alabama's side and you're saying, okay, the keys to Alabama winning this ball game, if Alabama is going to go on and win this ball game, what do you think would make Alabama successful against Texas on Saturday?
They need to hit Quinn early and often. I think Sark's going to try and protect him by running a lot of misdirection and play action to try and slow down Dallas Turner in that Alabama front. I don't know how much success Texas is going to have running the ball. Not that they won't be able to get yardage, but I don't think they'll be able to get chunk plays against this Alabama defense. If they're going to get chunk plays, which they have to have, they're going to have to do it through the passing game off play action, waggles, boots, sprint outs on 3rd and medium. But if you're Alabama and you're looking for a key, you hurt Quinn Ewers in this game last year. That's in the back of his mind. If you go and you lay him out a couple times early, I think he's going to be a little bit gun shy to push the ball down the field or stay in the pocket and deliver the pill, because Alabama's got some absolute aliens running around the field on defense. I mean, offense too. Look at that offensive line. They're straight out of, Mordor when you look at it. But they need to get physical with Quinn Ewers early. In between the whistle and legally. Don't give Texas any extra downs. Don't give them any extra pitches. But I think if they get to Quinn early, it'll bother them late, and I think it could lead to some turnovers and maybe the turnover that ices the game.
Yeah, and defensively, I went back and I watched the end zone copy of Texas versus Rice, and I'm watching the all 22, and I just saw consistently Texas just lining up in a regular, just over front 4-3, nothing crazy. I think you'll probably see them try to maybe mix some things up a little bit, try to confuse, like Caden Proctor's a freshman for Alabama at left tackle. big, talented, of course, but hey, a freshman playing left tackle in a high-profile game like this, that's going to be something that, Texas defense is going to try to dial up a little bit. Ethan Burke had a couple of sacks in that game versus Rice. You got Sweat in the middle that is going to try to handle, Dalcourt struggled a little bit some. Seth McLaughlin had two low snaps in that game. To your point, Milroe having to pick the ball up and all that kind of stuff. I just think Alabama's got to play clean. If Milroe can avoid turning the ball over, not just keep it within the buoys, of Tommy Rees's thing, I think maybe they can be a little bit more physical to start off with. That's what they want to do. So that's what I want to see out of Alabama there. So good stuff with a big matchup down there in Tuscaloosa this week.